Hey, Jenna,
Hey.
how are you?
Oh my God, I was like, I hope I didn't traumatize her to the point where she's like, is she gonna show up?
No. I mean, it happens.
I'm
It
so
is what it
sorry.
is.
I was like,
No
I don't want to
worries.
overshare, but I'm going through med changes myself. So I'm like, just like randomly, I was like, okay, my sleep is just need more
Yeah.
alarm.
Well, I'm glad that things are at least moving along. I was
Yeah.
worried because the week before, was it the week before or 2 weeks before? Because that's when you weren't feeling well. And I'm like, oh goodness.
Yes.
I'm
It
like, I
was
got a little bit worried. So, okay. I'm glad that
no.
you're okay.
Whew, I was like between like I know because it's been like a month. It was like
Yeah.
Herman wasn't well, then I wasn't well, and then and then I like completely thought that our session was the following week. I'm like, I'm gonna have to like tweak our training accordingly.
Fair, fair.
Goodness.
I mean, that's life too, right? Because we
Yeah.
don't always feel tip top to do all of the things. So
Yeah.
adjusting as needed. What was going on with Herman? How's he been doing the past few weeks?
Oh, he's good now. It was, I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago where, and I'm trying to tailor it accordingly. It was actually, it happened around the same time that Dr. Kuntz had gotten back about medication, like
Okay.
additional medication for the separation anxiety. Um, but before she prescribed it, I was like looking through it, and then I had seen that I think it was around that time that the weather started getting really warm.
Hmm.
Uh, Not even that warm. I want to say like I think that was the time it was like 80 or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
and I was a little surprised to see that Herman was like not taking it well. Like he's like able to do his walks still, but when it was like 80 and like the sun was out, it was like we are just going around the block. And even then he was like by the end of the walk, he was like pooped, like moving real slow.
Hmm.
And I want to say like 3 minutes into the walk, he starts like panting a lot. So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, I like maybe his heart's not doing as well as I like thought it would be. Um, I already knew it was a little strained, but like I think I didn't expect it to be like, oh, 80 degrees and the sun is out, that it would be this
Yeah.
bad. I thought, you know, maybe if it was like closer to like August or like
Right.
late July or something, then it would be tough. But that kind of threw me off. So I was like, okay, I don't think I want to try additional medication just yet because I want to like figure out what we can do without putting too much extra strain or like adding too much stuff medically onto his heart,
Hmm.
just in case, just in case, at least during the
Yeah.
summer. Um, so yeah, that was what was
Okay.
going on with him.
Yeah.
Um, he's in good spirits, so that's good. I think his thing now is that he um wants to do more. And I'm like, okay, we can try and do what we can. If it's a hot day, we have to remember that we need enough energy to come back from the walk.
Hmm.
Um, Otherwise, like we're just going to be stranded and
Yeah.
we're going to be in trouble. So, um, I'm trying to like position his walks sometimes if it's a hot day, which it hasn't been for a while. Um, where it's like he can still get some like enough time to like sniff around and like enjoy his walk, but like have enough energy to make his way back.
Yeah.
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 So he's
That's a
showing
tough
stage a bit.
combo.
It's just weird. But
Yeah. I mean, before it may be hard to tell given how long he's had the heart issues, but is he normally temperature sensitive like that? Where if it's warm out, he's got a harder time, he won't walk as far, he's panting sooner.
he's definitely panting sooner. It was definitely not as bad last summer. I think last summer it was really just like around July where he was starting to like be like, oh. I'm actually like exhausted.
Hmm.
Um, but he has had his heart murmur is a little worse now, and he has thankfully not in heart failure, but he has an enlarged heart. So like I think just a little strain on that. Plus, I think something else that's also taking actually I don't know because I'm not a vet. That because he's not um going to daycare or anything, and also we don't have a yard, and the little like dog run that's nearby is really just for like warmer weather.
Mm.
So the winter time he hasn't gotten too much exercise. He's gotten a little bit chunky. So I'm like, it's probably a little tougher for him to like do his
Yeah.
longer walks because now he's like
He's
a nine
carrying
and a
more.
half year old chunk. Like, yeah.
It
So
happens, Herman. Yeah,
I
it's
know,
got to
and
make
it's
that a
like
little more
so,
difficult.
our last dog was like he was Eeyore, so like he was always low maintenance. He's like, don't take me on a walk if I don't have to go. And so I think for Herman, this has been very like humbling.
Yeah.
He's like, I would love to run, like, and for a little bit, like he'll do okay. Like these slightly chillier days, twice Fernando and I have been able to take him to that dog run, which was nice.
Okay.
Um, he like we've also like limited what that looks like because before he used to go back and forth like 10 times. Just like the Tasmanian devil and then tire himself out. This time I'd say like maybe we like throw the ball like 4 times and then like he'll case the place and then he's like, okay, I'm ready to go. Or I'm just gonna like
Yeah.
lay here, play with a stick or something. And I'm like, okay,
Okay.
that's also okay. I can do
Yeah.
that.
He's making wise decisions for
He's
himself, given how he's
trying.
feeling. So,
His body is betraying him, but he will try his best.
yeah. I mean, as far as his weight goes too, depending on how much you think he's gained, like if it's a couple pounds here or there, or if it's a little bit more, like it, I don't know if it's worth touching base with his primary care vet or maybe even his cardiologist to see what they think to be like, does he need to be on like a little bit of a weight loss plan for a little
Yeah, like
while?
a
Like,
different
would that help
kibble
him
or
get around?
something.
Because they
Yeah.
could either guide you through based on what his current diet is, like maybe you keep the same diet, but we reduce the food by like X
Yeah.
amount week by week because it should be done slowly. So maybe they
Yes.
do that, or maybe they'll be like, let's try a different diet because there's also diets out there that like make dogs feel more full for
Yes.
longer. So
Definitely.
maybe that.
Especially because like oh my gosh, and if you have like the emotional capacity, I can always send it to you. But it was a few days ago that I saw this like throwback from Paws of when they got him, and he was very emaciated, and I was like, oh my gosh. He was also emaciated when we adopted him, but I was like, I've been calling this dog a chunk this whole time, and he is a chunk, but like,
Yeah.
it's like, the guy was so skinny.
Yeah.
And I was like, the solution is not to swing it the other way. Like, can we please get him to like a healthy medium where he feels at least like he has the ability to like not have to carry 84 pounds
Yeah.
himself every time he has to go on a walk.
Right. Because I mean, that is going to make it harder. And there are things that we can do as far as while he's in this phase of
Yeah,
careful weight loss plan or whatever it is that they decide, we
yeah,
can always think of other ways to get him more physical exercise inside. So
yeah.
I like to think of it as like even myself as I'm getting older, I used to strength train and do lots of running and functional fitness and all that. And
Yes,
as I'm older, it's like that's not the best route. So I was like 10,000 steps a day. Like at least
I
try to
have,
get
but
those
like my
in.
hips hurt. Like, yes.
Exactly, right? So it shifts. So we might have to think of it the same way with Herman to be like, okay, maybe walks are 15 minutes sniffaries, pee, poop, and then go in,
Yeah,
especially once the weather starts getting
getting more.
more heated up, right,
Yeah,
as the season goes on. But we can get creative with thinking about ways to get his steps in
yeah,
inside, hopefully in a way that is still engaging for him, fun for you guys. May or may not be the same time commitment as it was like taking him on a walk, but I think we
yeah,
could come up with solutions. That way
yeah,
we don't have to make him feel uncomfortable or you guys feel like you're stranded because that's
yeah,
also a tough thing. It's different, I think, when we have smaller dogs. Like my dog, sometimes I had a dog with heart issues and she was small though. So I had the luxury of being able to get her in a stroller or like a wagon. So if
yes.
she did decide she was done, we put her in, we go back. You could do something like that with Herman, but I mean, now you're carrying a big
Veronica,
old
we
wagon.
we do have a big stroll from our last dog. We had
Yeah.
those big um Iba Yaya strollers. Um I haven't taken it out for Herman yet. We got it for our last dog because he was just I just like wanted him to still like say hi to everyone down the block, even if walking was
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
Um, but I've been nervous to take it out for Herman. But I think given that he's slowing down this early on into warm weather, it's probably something to like more seriously think about when, especially when like it comes later on into the summertime. Gets
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
I mean, if any reason for the hot days, depending on the time of day you take them out, like the pavement itself is hot sometimes,
Mhm.
right? So just depending on how far you
Yeah.
go. So it might help to get you like from point A to point B, where B is like the grassy area, and then we like
Yeah.
get in it like on the way back. So um how
Really good idea. Having it for on the way back. I think that way,
yeah,
like, wants to go as far as he wants to go, then he can do that
right,
and just rest on the
right.
return path. That's a good idea, actually. Write that down.
How do you think he would do getting in and out of it? It's since he's never tried it before. Like, how does he do right now? Like getting up on furniture and stuff.
He does fine. He like
Okay.
hops on really well. Our car is a little high, but he like puts his like front paws up and then I give him like a little,
Little boost.
yes, a little boost, which also is a nice workout for me. But like he likes it, he's fine with it.
Okay.
Um, so far he's really good with that. Like knock on wood, his joints are actually, I feel like they're pretty good.
Okay.
So I think he'd be okay. I think it would take a little practice just for him to be comfortable like in the space. He might
Yeah.
be like, why am I outside and not walking? Like that's a
Yeah.
little strange, but
Do you
I
have the
think
stroller in the home or is it like in storage somewhere?
it's in the closet, but it needs to be like reassembled, if that makes sense.
I see. Okay.
Like, fold it out and then like put back on the wheel thing.
Yeah. Because you could
But
always start inside, being like,
yes,
let's just take it out, and then treats when you see it, and
no,
then
that's a good idea because it's literally in the like office closet folded up. So I think we could like take it out here and then just like practice it in here so that he's like, oh,
yeah,
okay, this is the place I could chill out and
yeah,
like it's fine. I think that was how it was with our last dog too, because once I think he was like, what is this? And then once he went in, he was like, oh, I don't have to do anything. Like this
Ugh,
works. It's like,
this does the
I
walking
feel
for
like
me.
royalty. Like, felt like a
Yeah,
queen. It's like,
yeah, pretty
yeah.
much.
Okay, that's a good idea. That way it's not like 0 to 100 when like July comes along or something and then
Right.
we're screwed.
Yeah. I like that idea. I'll make sure I jot that down so that we remember that. And just using food to pair any counter conditioning, right? You look at the
Yeah.
thing and then you get food. And then as he approaches closer to it, you get food because you're being brave enough and letting him
Yeah.
just
Sniff
approach it at
it.
his own pace. Yeah. But just pairing it with food. And if he chooses to jump in before you encourage him to, like, great. Otherwise, treats in there, like maybe he'll follow his nose all the way in there if
Yeah,
he
that's
has, or if you have a way to steady it, like so it doesn't move around. Like most of them, there's a way to like lock them in
yeah,
place.
yeah.
That way, when he jumps in, otherwise, if it moves, he might be like, whoa, like
Yeah.
that's gonna freak me out, like
Like, I don't
that
know if
part
I
of
want to
it.
get it.
right? So making
Yeah.
sure it's just nice and stable. And then if he gets in, I'd say maybe toss a treat out to be like, great, that was great. You don't have to stay in there if you don't want to.
Yeah,
Here's a
he doesn't
treat
want
over
to come out.
there. Right. Or if he wants to stay in there, awesome. He can get treats. You can push him a few feet just to be like, what does he do?
Maybe
Make
even
those
like
sessions short.
the like top also like unzips. Maybe I keep it unzipped for now,
Sure.
just like he doesn't feel
He's
so
not
closed in.
claustrophobic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. Okay.
Okay. That's a good idea. I'll put that down. Let's see.
Think that'll give you a good option. Have you told your cardiologist that you've noticed the changes with him this season? As far as like if they think anything needs to be done with his meds or they want to take a look at anything, or when was the last time you touched base with them?
So we recently did a cardio workup, which I think was around the I don't remember if it was around the time or like not long before he was slowing down, more with the
Okay.
like 3 weeks ago, um, which is when they said it had become a grade 3 murmur. But they said that because we started him off early on an aggressive treatment, they were like, just like keep that up,
Uh-huh.
like medication wise, and then like don't increase anything, but like keep the level that you're doing steady and then try and limit the walks a little more. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, I will try to do that. Um, or just to be like more aware of heat exhaustion. So I've been something else that I was thinking of doing is I still have this hand-me-down from our last dog too, where it's like one of those, it's not a sweater because the material's different. Um, but like you can like squeeze cold water on it and then it just kind of like cools them off as they walk. I don't know if
Interesting.
that's something that would help. I always get a little nervous because you know what? Give me 1 second. It's in the
Yeah,
same
go for it.
too. Okay, sorry, Veronica. Like
Take your time.
10 seconds. I think it's gonna be
You're good. You're good.
Okay, I'm such a dork. I like turn my bedroom upside down and it's right here. Um,
Of course it is.
so it's this. I don't know if you can like kind of tell what the material is. It's like a stretchy, it's almost like a swimsuit
Yeah, that's what
material.
it looks like. Okay.
And like what I would do, sorry, it has a bunch of pimples on it. But what you would do is you'd put it on the dog and then like just wet it a bunch. And then as they walk, it just like it evaporates, but like it cools, it evaporates onto them, if that makes
Sure.
sense.
Yeah,
Um, so I didn't know if that's like an option too, maybe to like try out. I
sure. Have you ever
he
has he had to wear like sweaters or anything like that before?
loves sweaters. Oh my God.
Okay.
He loves a
Okay.
sweater. He tippy taps for them. So
So cute.
he has
So
one
cute.
that says a D dog, but sorry I interrupted you.
I love it. No, well, if he already enjoys wearing that, then it's not a stretch of the imagination to be like, this is going to be a difficult thing getting it on him. Like he's not one of
Yeah,
those dogs that are like, oh my God, I'm just going to freeze because you put something on me and I hate it. So I don't see why you couldn't try it and see
yeah,
if it helps anything, especially on those really hot days. And
yeah,
the really hot days is very subjective. So very hot for Herman, like for
yeah.
him.
If it's
So
like an 80-degree day. And that way, then maybe he'll associate it with like, okay, putting this on means that like I'm cooling down on the walk and it's like not going to be a pain in the ass for me to have to like slog through it.
yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. I mean, I still think it's good to limit the walks if that was the
Yes.
recommendation provided. So, but these are nice strategies for when you do have to walk. It's time to go potty and it's the middle of the day and the sun is like blasting. Those would be the times to use those sorts of things.
Yes.
I always like to, I do this for my own dogs too, is I try to reserve the longer walks for like early in the morning or like
Yeah,
later
when
at
it's cooling
night.
down
Yeah,
and stay in shady areas or
right.
something. Yeah,
All those things.
that's a good idea too.
What
Okay.
kinds of things does he like to do right now for like, because I know he has the snuffle mat, right? So in terms of just
Yes.
finding ways to get him exercise indoors, the snuffle mat was a fun option. Have you tried doing anything else like scent work wise, like scattering food all over the place and seeing if he'll eat like walk around the apartment and eat those, like anything along those lines?
I've thought about it. In terms of like getting him more exercise, that's a good idea for something to do that doesn't have to do with me doing a lot of exercise too. Because I was gonna say otherwise that he loves tug of war. He loves it.
Okay.
Uh, Fernando's so lazy about it, but like I go ham. Like when I do
When
tug of
you
war,
do it.
yes, like losing the arm. Like it's like a whole thing and I'm like running him around so he like has to do it. And I don't know if this is helping or hurting the safe space of the office, but like I do that in the office.
Sure.
I was originally doing that just because the office is carpet and he's not like sliding around, but
Yes. Yeah.
because of that now he also like if he knows I'm like gonna roughhouse with him, he like comes to the office to do it.
Oh, baby.
Because he's like, okay, she's gonna play tug of war with me, or she's gonna
Yeah.
like I'll like throw the tennis ball or something so that he can like go catch it.
Yeah.
Um, which I guess is another thing. He'll like leap for it sometimes, to go get
Awesome. I love all of these ideas. I
yeah,
think so, depending on the bandwidth that you have, because I love that you love to play tug, and maybe
yes.
Fernando, like, that's not his jam, right? He's like, That's too much work for me." And that's
It's like
fair. I
I
think,
just got back from work. I'm not doing this.
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, because we're human and we're not every day going to be like, I don't have the energy for this, buddy. Like, I just
Yeah,
can't. So I think it'd be good for us to go through a list of, okay, these are activities that we can do for physical exercise that Herman likes, and then kind of go through it and be like, these are the ones that require a lot of bandwidth from me. So I'm going
yeah,
to save those for days that I have pretty good energy and I feel good. I've got the time. And then
yeah,
I'm going to have these activities where Herman likes these, but these are for days that I don't have a whole lot of bandwidth. Like it's just something to get the steps in.
yeah,
And he maybe it might be a thing he loves, or it might be a thing that he's like, I'm not as jazzed about it, but it gives him something for that day. So you can have different categories. That way you don't have to like think off the top of your head, like, what should I do? Just be like, what is the bandwidth that I have? And then pull from that like list of ideas for when I have
Yeah.
zero bandwidth or I have full bandwidth. Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense because I mean, there was even like, I think it was like 3 days ago where like neither of us had the spoons and you could tell that he was restless, but he had this energy of like, I guess I'll rest and I guess I'll sleep, but like, I can't believe you're about to put me in the crate for the night. And I've like not really had any playtime. I've just been like nibbling on my toys. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, I'm so sorry. And like I
Yeah.
just figure out what
And
I
that
can do.
happens. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's think of some simple ways that we can incorporate for those. I think you've got some great like fetch, tossing the ball, and those are great for when you do have the spoons. Awesome.
Yeah.
And if you think of other stuff for when you have spoons, great. What are the
Yeah.
things that maybe we could try for when you don't have the spoons? So
Yeah.
little effort for you. I like doing that game. I do this for my dogs, and I do this every single day at mealtime where
Yeah.
they eat a combination of fresh food and dry food, like kibble. And I just take the kibble, and I have two dogs. So I have one dog, I gate off this section of the lower level of the house, and then so there's two sections, and I just chuck their kibble all over the floor. I just chuck it. And that's how they get their dinner because they have to walk all over the place to get their dinner. And sometimes I take,
It's like the
you
home is the
know,
snuffle mat.
yeah, pretty much, basically. And because they're terriers and they like to destroy, you know how you get those sales papers like, here's what's on sale at Jewel and
Yeah.
here's what's on sale at Mariano. So I have like stacks of those and I rip off a sheet. I put in some of their kibbles, I scrunch it up, and then I put it like behind a pillow or like under something. That way they really have to work to
That is
get
a
at it.
great use of useless mail.
Oh my
Oh
God. And it
wow.
doesn't take a lot of effort. Like I can be like, oh my
Yes.
God, I'm tired. Let me just chuck this food. Let me just scrunch up some balls. I sometimes do that with empty toilet paper tubes, the cardboard. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like what do I do with those? I'm like, I don't have time for training for 10 minutes or doing something fun. So I'll grab one of those tubes and I'll fold the ends. I'll put a few pieces of kibble, fold the ends, and go hide that. That way they can do a
Yeah.
few of those
And
around.
it's a
So
game for them.
right. So they're getting their steps in. He's using his nose to find it, so it's mental stimulation.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's low enough in terms of low bandwidth spoons that you would want to do, or let's
Yeah.
brainstorm other ideas? Okay.
No,
So those are
I
some
think that's
ideas.
totally an idea that we can try.
The- Having, let's see, he already's got the snuffle mat. Um,
Oh, there is one thing, maybe it's related to that or not. I was
mhm.
curious about, not necessarily for me because he doesn't do it with me, but he does do it with Fernando on walks. I don't know why, but he's lately started trying to bring in sticks.
Okay.
I, I I've never seen his behavior before. But Fair will say that he like refuses to like go further on the walk unless he's allowed to bring the stick with.
Okay.
And first I was like, okay, I've seen some other dogs do this. If the stick is like, and it'll usually be like a thick stick. If I'm like, okay, the stick he's just carrying it around the house, then that's one thing.
Hmm.
But then I noticed that like him and his big pity jaw were like trying to break it off. And I was like, okay, at that point, I gotta throw this. Like I don't want him like
Got it.
swallowing pieces. Um, but he's still doing it on the walk. And I'm like,
Yeah, I don't see a
I don't
problem
know
with him
why he's
carrying it
doing
on the
it with him and
walk.
not me. Like with me, he doesn't even
Yeah.
try.
Well, I
I think I'm more
suspect I know
alpha though.
why. Because you are, from what I recall, you are the one that's more diligent about him not picking stuff up, whereas
Yes.
Fernando's like, depending on the thing. So I'm pretty
Yes.
sure that he's learned there are certain things that I can get in my
Yeah.
mouth without having to be told to drop it or to leave it, whatever, with dad versus with mom.
Yeah.
So that might be why. And it's just to
He's like gonna
carrying on
actually
the
get in
walk,
trouble
like
with mom if he tries this shit. Yeah.
yeah, and carrying it on the walk is one thing, and even honestly bringing it in the house, I don't care a whole lot about. I've been
Yeah.
known to, when I see like fallen branches with like a few little leaves or whatever, I've been known to pick them randomly up when I'm
Yeah.
on like walking by myself in the trail and bringing them in the house for my dogs to sniff because it's just like something new to
He's
sniff.
so happy. He
But they
was
don't
so
try
proud of
chewing
his
it.
stick. I
I
was like,
agree though, the
it's
chewing it
harmless
is
if he's not eating it, but then he was trying to eat it, and I was like, I gotta
right.
break his heart.
Does he
Uh,
normally chew on like does he have chewable things to work on?
he does have like I got him a giant, like, I don't get him hide bones. I get him like those Nyla
Nyla
bone.
bones?
Um,
Okay.
he has a giant one that he uses. It terrifies my mom. I try to keep hard things, not so hard his like teeth will fall out, but like because he has such a strong jaw
Yeah.
and he also likes to destroy things, like his toys also. I'll try
Okay.
even his soft toys. I try and do those like tough soft toys.
Okay.
Um, and the softer ones he likes to use when he's doing those like, when dogs will like nibble
Like
on like,
self-soothing and just
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. And that's
he likes
okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
I'm
like,
trying to
okay,
pull up
he has
here.
those. So
And
he
that's
maybe
good.
thinks
That
the
way he
stick
has that
is the
option.
same thing.
I think if we gave him, well, this is worth trialing and evaling. If we gave him other kinds of chews to that are appropriate for him to work on, would it
Yeah,
lessen his tendency of wanting to pick up the sticks and bring them inside?
right.
Because again, even
It's
I
a
don't even have a
reminder that
problem
it's
with
like you can just work on this at home.
yes, exactly. And or even if you allow him to carry the stick on the walk because it's adorable and whatever, but when
Yeah.
he brings it in, switching him out, being like,
Yeah,
"Awesome,
yeah.
you brought me that stick. Here's your fun chew." And we have, I'm going to share my screen real quick and
Like
I'll send you this
he'll be
link.
like, I can still like when I come back in, I can still chew on something. It just doesn't
Exactly.
the
Just
stick.
not that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is our Amazon page, and we have lots of our recommendations on types of chews here. No hide chews, so these are not raw hides,
Mhm.
but they are long lasting chews that are similar to raw hides. So if he's a power
Okay.
chewer, that
He
might be
is.
good. The elkhorn chews, these are pretty tough as well. Like they're kind of like antlers from elk.
Yeah,
Like so
yeah. So
they
they're
are
thick enough.
tough. Yeah. So those Himalayan yak chews, my dogs love those. Those are pretty tough. And of course, Nylabone. So you already have Nylabone. So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
send this link to you. That way you can explore them and be like, what do I think might be suitable to switch out for if you
Yeah.
bring something inside? It's like, ooh, look what I got.
Yeah,
And that
I
can
think
even
it'll be
be,
good to like have multiple so that he's not like,
yes,
okay, it's the same Nylabone every time I'm bored,
yes.
you know?
Yes. And you
Okay.
could even, if you wanted to give him agency, like when he comes back in from a walk and he's got a stick and you want to trade him, just offer him like the bone buffet and be like,
Yeah.
which one do you want? Like, which one do you feel like having today? It might change, or he might just keep going for the same one, but it's like, cool,
Yeah.
you like that one. So, because he may not like
But it's
everything
not
that's
like
here.
mom confiscating the stick each
Correct.
time. He gets to still
Correct.
choose what he wants to nibble on. Yeah. That's a
Correct. Because that's the thing with picking stuff up. One of the first things that we'll teach is that we don't want to be the fun police. We
yeah.
don't want to be taking your chips and salsa. We want to be
It's
the ones
breaking my
giving
heart.
you like more things, right? So if we give him a better alternative, then maybe he'll be less inclined to pick stuff
Yeah.
up on the walk in general. So
And
I'll
then he
send you
also
that link. That way you can
he won't see me
peruse.
throw the stick because he'll be busy with the bone.
Yeah. That way, the next time you go out for the walk, you just take that stick and recycle it back out into the universe.
Exactly.
So
No,
okay. So
he's like,
choose, I think, would be a good one. And you can add, that's also just, mental stimulation for him. Tug, the any other like food puzzles. Like there's lots of things I think you can do for when you have the bandwidth. I think that gives you right now enough to start with for when you don't have bandwidth. The only other thing that I thought of might be a flirt pole. Have you heard of a flirt pole before?
No, what is that?
You know how cats
It's like a
have you
scrub.
seen the like the wand with the little toy hanging off it? It looks
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
fishing pole. It's basically that for dogs. Just think bigger and more sturdy, basically. So it's a way that you can just kind of teach them, and you can just be sitting in your office if it's carpeted in there, right? And you can
Yeah.
even be sitting in your rolling chair being and he gets the thing and he chases it. It also helps them with
You
their,
would
for
love
dogs that like
that.
to hunt, because you have to chase it, you have to grab it, you kill it, you dissect it, and then he lets it go, and then the game starts again.
I
So
think
it's
that's a
also
great
a good test
idea.
of learning how to drop things and let things go. So I'll send you
What'd you call it? A flirt pole?
a flirt poll. Yeah. I'll send you the document. It's got some instructions on how to use it. I'll share this real
I
quick.
didn't
That way we
know
can
that
look
it
at it.
exists, but he would love that.
This is kind of small. Let me see if I can maximize it. Yeah, so you can find these on Amazon. I think it's going to probably be in our Amazon list too, like our Amazon shop. You can make your own. That's what this goes through. But if you want to buy one, then you start with the flirt pole upright and you're holding the toy, and then you have him lay down or stay where he is, and then you release the toy, and then you start to go in one direction, like swing it in a circle. The only thing that I would
Yeah.
make sure of, especially given he's a bigger dog with his breed, is go like in one direction as opposed to going like foom, 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 because that's a lot on his
He's just
joints
gonna use
to
his
like
neck.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just try to go smooth. Like you can go fast, but keep it going in one direction instead of like quick back and forths, because that's going to be harder on his joints. But yeah, you can let him catch it, and then that's when you'll say take it, and he tugs it around for a little bit. So you kind of get the tug incorporated in there for a little bit. And after a while, then he ends up, oh, I'm sorry, I just moved that. And then he ends up dropping it. And then you can reward him when he does that, and then kind of start the cycle over again. So that was a very big overview on that. Let me see if I can
No, I
find
love that because,
a link to the actual thing.
and it does not require as many spoons. It's like
Correct.
talking without as many spoons.
Correct. Correct. So yeah, I will send that to you, and I'm betting you can find it in the
Yeah,
Amazon shop. So if I
definitely.
see that, I'll link that in there too.
Definitely.
Okay, I like that. So we have lots of ideas for physical exercise inside, and
Mhm.
there'll be more things on the document that I'm sending you in terms of other tips for mental exercise. Look at it at your leisure if you feel like it. Otherwise, if you want to talk more closely about anything in there, like for mental activities, we can do that because there's something called um, any like 101 things you can do with the box, and
Mm,
that's a lot of mental stimulation, but it's kind of easy on you. It's just
yeah,
mental work. It's not as much steps in, it's just mental work. But anyway, okay. But I think that gives us enough options for physical activity
definitely.
stuff. What do you think? Okay,
Yeah, definitely. Makes me a lot more confident too about warmer weather
good.
powering
Yeah,
him.
because we want to make sure that he's getting his needs met, but in a way that is suitable for where he is in his life with his health and everything. So,
And
okay,
I really think that like I still think he's like gotta be mixed with like some terrier or some hound because he just needs like he just constantly needs to be hunting or like working on
sure.
something, you know? So I
Yeah.
think that's a good idea for sure.
Yeah, then I think scattering foods, doing like nose work type activities, I think is going to be right up his alley. And if you guys were, let me see, did we talk about nose like scent activities before? Let's see. Can't remember if we've talked about them.
I think just the snuffle mat. And oh, but
Okay.
we also it's not necessarily like targeted nose work, but we were talking about allowing more sniffing on walks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing. I think especially since some walks I can't take him on like a farther walk, then I'll allow for more sniffing on like a shorter walk.
Okay.
And and I think trust is building a lot on that. Um,
Good.
I'm actually noticing, actually, for a while I was noticing that he was picking up fewer things, at least on my walk, or like eating things less.
Hmm.
Um, I think I think now that like school's out and like people are out more, that like things are being thrown on the ground more, and so
Sure.
that's very tempting for him. But aside from increased litter, he's, I think, like my loosening the leash a little bit on him, especially on residential streets. He's like,
Hmm.
okay, like I just kind of want to sniff around. Like it's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
cool. And then if he messes up, I'm like, I'm trying to trust you, buddy. Come on. And like,
Sure.
if he tries it, like maybe I give him like two strikes. And I'm like, okay, if you're trying this twice, then we're gonna go on a shorter leash. And then like when I feel comfortable again, I'll loosen it
Let
up
you
for you.
wander.
Yeah.
We had talked about last time pattern games, doing something called pattern games on the walk of that way he gets more of his attention on you and
Yeah.
you give him food. So food is happening on the walk, but it's coming from you. Have you been able to do that? How is that going? Is it helping anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially a lot of times like we finish the walk on a bigger street because our building is on Kedzie itself. And so when we most of the walks on residential streets around, but when we turn back toward the building, it's on Kedzie. And I think because it's a bigger street, tends to be more people, I give him more kibble after he behaves
Mm,
well. So he's come to like, as we approach Kedzie now, he comes to expect kibble from me. And he's like, I got this. Like,
yeah. Look at me go.
look at me go. There's a bunch of people coming and I'm about to do really well. So I'm like,
Right.
okay. So that works well. If
Good.
it's something me and him do, I don't know if this is a good idea or what, but he likes it, is if it's a quieter, if it's like an off hours walk and it's the street's pretty much empty, then like I'll almost do like a rate a mini race with him. So
Hmm.
I'll like do a little squat. This sounds so silly. I'll do a little squat with him, and then I think he sees that as like my version of like the play bow.
Yeah.
And then we race for like maybe two houses. And then after the two houses, we stop and I give him a treat. And he's like,
Nice.
oh, good. And he's
That's
like so
cute.
happy about that. And then we'll like do it again. And we look at each other like, okay, go.
That's so cute. That's super cute. I think that's just
And then it
fun.
gives him
Why
like a
not?
little sprint. Like
Yeah.
he's like, happy about it.
Yeah, a little jolt about it, and then he gets food afterwards. Like, why not? Yeah,
Yeah. He's like, okay, that makes
good.
me do it again. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
good. I like
So,
that. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that's fantastic. I mean, as long as he's interested and he is happy afterwards, you are doing a nice
yes,
job of monitoring,
I'm
like,
not
do
going to
your,
drag
yeah,
him to it. Yeah.
right. So,
And
yeah, great. I love that.
he's also been very intuitive. Like we've done a couple and I'm like I'm tired. Like I'm like
Sure.
I can't do another one and he's like okay, fine. Like that's
Okay,
I'll sniff it. Okay.
good. Okay, I like that that's going well then. Wonderful. So, if all of that stuff aside, so we had that's the bulk of. So let me come back to what you had talked about with Dr. Coons. She had recommended some med changes, but we decided to put that on hold. So we never did the med changes. Is that what
No,
happened?
we did not do the med changes. Uh,
Gotcha. Okay.
and in fact, we can talk about it at our next session, or I can just also send an email after this, but I think it's the 17th that I am seeing her next.
Oh,
So
okay. That's coming up. Okay.
yes. So then I think I'll be able to have a more detailed like one-on-one with her about like what
Great.
she suggests, especially with Like I haven't told her the details about like how he's been acting with like warmer weather and stuff like that with his heart.
Okay.
Um, so I'll be able to like kind of dissect that with her and then we can figure out like medication wise, like where to go
What
from
to
there.
do. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay. Yeah, so let's put a pin in that for now. I like that, especially as we're adjusting into the season. It was just such a fluke that like few days of like 80 degrees. I hated it too, and so
I
did my
know.
dogs. I'm like, what is happening here? So
Like,
yeah,
and then I was like, and it was not like his fault, but I was like, buddy, it's gonna get a lot worse than 80. Like, you gotta, I
yeah.
need you to like bulk up and get ready. Like, this is
Yeah.
so
Well,
tired.
let's work our way in there. So I
Yeah,
like that you'll meet with Dr. Coates then. Let's figure out what changes she wants to make, if any. And if
yes,
you recently saw the cardiologist and they're like, we'll just keep with the plan and do
yeah,
shorter walks, then great. Then we've got our list of physical activity things that we can try inside. Let's see if that helps fill his cup without draining your cup for the
yeah,
day. And then I love the stroller idea and the fact that you already have one. I
yeah.
love that we can just let's see what happens. Let's trial
Big
and eval
deal because
that.
those, I feel like otherwise, like, they're so expensive. So, like, if you already have
Yeah.
one, okay.
You like have one for life once you have one, because why would you ever get rid of it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially
Absolutely.
if it comes apart and it's easy enough to store.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. How have you been able to do anything, or how is it going with the departures and the relaxation training? Because I know we had just introduced the relaxation training the last time we talked.
Yeah.
And we try to go over how not to get overwhelmed with it because I know it's lengthy. What have you been able to do with it, if anything?
Yeah. I'll preface that I haven't been able to do like step by step each time. Um, though I do want to do that. But it's just been such a crazy past couple weeks. But I will say that something he's really improved on. Um, I almost at first was unintentionally training it, but there were a lot of times where the past couple weeks that I would either keep forgetting things back in the kitchen or whatever, and like get up from the desk and go get like I have to refill my coffee or I forgot I have to get my laptop or whatever. And
Hmm.
I come back and for the most part he just stays. Like he has
Nice.
not followed me out. And I'm like, okay, cool. Um, I have noticed that in terms of like I remember the descriptions for like the easy, medium, hard. I
Uh-huh.
would say like his average reaction is at a medium.
Okay.
And I would say that's maybe for most of the things in like phase one and two, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so like if I'm just like if I'm on a meeting or something, so he's hearing me speak,
Hmm.
uh, then he may like it'll be the easy, like he'll open his eyes maybe. But he's like not lifting his head. He's just kind of like, what's going on? Okay, fine, I'll go back to sleep. Um, or sometimes he'll just like take something. I've been putting his toy box, like his toy box is in here during the day. So he'll like
Hmm.
dig into the toy box and figure something out for
Good.
himself.
Good.
Um, and I've also noticed something which is good is if I make eye contact with him too, he'll still be like sleepy eyes, like he'll open them and then like go back to sleep. Which before, if I was looking at him, he's like, "Oh, playtime? Like,
Right. Right.
are you getting up?" And that's not necessarily the case. It's only the case
Okay.
if it's like around the time that he would have to go for a walk, and he's like, then he'll like come up and he'll paw at me, and I'm like, okay, like give me like
Sure.
5 minutes and then I'll do it.
Yeah.
Um, something that has actually been really good is there have been more times the past couple weeks that like I will spend like the second half of work working from the living room. And a lot of those times, he'll either join me, but like if it's still like daytime and it's sunny out, he will maybe just check on me. He'll just be like, "You good?" And then he will
Mm-hmm.
go back to the office. And he is just
Nice.
by himself for like the rest of the time. He will just,
Good.
the next time he comes out is like, "Hey, are we walking? Like, what's going on?"
Okay.
Otherwise, he's like totally fine. Or if something's on the
Love that.
TV, even he's like not bothering to come check. He's like, okay, she's doing her own thing. He'll just check if I'm still in the house, and then he's like, okay, fine. I'm still in the office though, because it's nice here. So
Has, and is this new? Like before, were you not able to be in the living room with him staying in another room?
I would say that he would do it sometimes. Um, but he would eventually come to the living room and hang with me. Or he would check more often, I think is maybe what would happen
Got it.
before. He would get
Okay.
up and keep looking, like, are you not coming or what? Um, but that kind of checking in is not really the case anymore. He's not checking to be
Got
like,
it.
are you going to join me? He's checking to be like, are you still in the house? Okay, fine. I'm doing my own thing.
Okay.
Uh, which is cool.
Yeah,
I
so the frequency is just reduced. The frequency of him checking in with you to be like, are you still there?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's totally fine.
good.
Uh, and then what else? Me leaving the apartment is still a little rough. It's I don't want to say it's worse than when we talked last time, but I want to say it's maybe the same.
Okay.
Um, I do think I'd say he has been soiling, but like he is definitely avoiding soiling in the office, is what I've noticed. Which is a good thing. He I can tell he's like trying to do it on the pee pads.
Hmm.
Uh, which we don't keep. I keep one in the office, but like otherwise we keep them in the entryway area. Um, and he'll go on there and
Okay.
then, but he will hang out in the office, which is like, okay, like once he'll like have his like breakdown when we
Hmm.
initially leave, and then I think when it eventually gets to the calm down period, he hangs out either in the office or like in the doorway area because the entryway like basically goes into the office.
Right.
So
Right. Good.
um yeah, so that's kind of where it's
Okay.
at. We still keep the box out. I haven't been keeping a box out for him if I'm like going down the block to Walgreens and back. But if we're like going somewhere like for dinner or something, then like I leave the box out for that.
Okay.
Um Yeah. I'm trying to also get over my own fear of leaving the house and leaving him alone. I think like Fernando is very, because he works out of the home, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like go to the gym and come back. Um, but I'm always like, for me, when if I like want to leave to go to the gym, that means leaving him alone. And I like do not
Right.
always do that. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna
Well,
hang out here.
yeah, and
I
there's a
don't want to be
certain,
like,
the
yeah,
more that he has those experiences of the I'm freaking out, I'm here by myself, the harder it is to turn them into something positive. So
yes.
we
Which
want to
I
try
think
to avoid as much as we can, like to that end, because we do have lives and we've got to leave the house at some point.
no, I
There's a
think
couple
that
ways.
is relieving that you said that though, because I think some people who aren't trainers are like, he won't know, he won't get used to it if you don't keep
Yeah,
complaining. And I'm
it
like,
does.
yeah, he's upset. Like he's
Yeah. And no, just no. It
not
doesn't work that
relaxing.
way, unfortunately. So this is why we're trying to be like, okay, let's see if we can build on the relaxation training with the
Yes.
safe space, have the meds in the background helping us out. There's, in the meantime, like from just a management perspective
Yeah.
of, okay, but we've got to leave the house. We can do a couple of things. So option one is trying to minimize when we're leaving the house? Like, is there a way that you guys can coordinate schedules where one of you is always there, if that
I'm
can work
trying,
out?
I think that's something we're trying to do for sure. Like, I'm like,
Okay.
if I know I have to go somewhere, then I'm like, hey, if you were planning to go to the gym after work today, could you just come straight home after work? And like,
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
this like errand I have to run or something like that.
Yeah. I think that would be great. Another option, depending on, let's say maybe we just can't work that out. Is
Yeah.
there anyone that you could get to come over? Like, could you hire a pet sitter? Especially for the days that you guys want to plan, like, hey, we want to have date night, or hey, we want to
Yeah.
go catch a movie, or whatever that is. That would be a good time to try something like that. What do you think?
I don't know that he's ready for a pet sitter yet. I
Okay.
think I do know that he is great with my parents. So there have been times where my parents are in the suburbs though. So like there are times where like he has gotten he has improved in the sense that he can stay one night with them. He's able to stay one night with them and like 2 days without us there, which
Hmm.
is big for us. So there are times where like if I give my parents enough of a heads up, and I'm like, hey, can you, this happened actually last weekend where I was like, can he stay with you for one night? Like, we have a couple friends coming in town, and it would be nice to like actually be able to host
Yeah,
people and like take them somewhere without worrying about Herman, where he is and how long he's been alone. So they were like, okay, yes, we can do that. So
good.
I have, I technically have a pet sitter when it comes to like one night or something like that.
Okay,
Um, for now. But the hope is that when he gets to a place where the separation anxiety is easier and his stranger danger is less, then we can finally get a pet sitter.
try and work on that. Yeah, I agree.
To
Okay.
have
I
that.
like that. At least you have a backup for your planned events, right?
Yes.
So when you know you have something planned, then you can reach out to your parents to be, I love that. So I love that you did that for that evening. That's a perfect way to go about it. And I like that if you guys get together to be like, how often can we coordinate to have one of us staying here
Yeah.
and trying to really, really, really reduce the number of times that he's left alone to practice the behavior of I'm getting worked up, I'm nervous about this. Because again, that's more in his mental library of negative experiences, and we want
Yeah.
to
And the
avoid, we want to
abandonment
try
thing.
not to put as much in there as we can. If you absolutely do have to leave, like you have an emergency, like
For Mother's Day tomorrow.
like there's, well, it's like safety, like medical things, and you're like, I need to, like, I can't not do this. Like, I have to go to the hospital. I have to go do this. Then those are my, well, this is just gonna suck, and I'm sorry. But for those instances, I wouldn't do the normal things that you would do when we're gonna go through practicing relaxation training, because eventually, when we get further on the relaxation phases, we're going to start putting things together. Like we're going
Yeah.
to start pairing sound masking. We're going to start pairing the safe space. Like we're going to add more of the components in, but all of those things combined, like those are the signals that this is a safe time. We're just doing a practice run. Nothing
Yeah.
bad is actually going to happen. So on the emergency times, you're like, nope, I got to leave. I wouldn't do any sound masking. I wouldn't like, because this is
Because then
just
he's
going to
gonna think
suck.
it's a negative thing.
Right. So
Yeah.
we're trying to keep the controlled sessions very positive. So
Yeah.
unless we are doing, if we're not going to do a controlled session, then we're not going to bother with the sound masking and like all the other normal cues that we would indicate that this is going to be a safe experience for you. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah,
Because we
totally.
don't want that to be
Like
confused. And to that end, for the relaxation phases, I love the that you can like work out of the living room. He's checking in less. Even if you're in the office, like you said, you got to go get something from the kitchen. He's getting up less. Beautiful. All of that. That tells me that either the going through the phases is getting him enough practice or just the overall idea of it, like he's getting more comfortable with. As you're progressing through the tasks, like one at a time, you said that you were seeing a lot of like medium body language.
Yeah.
right? Like
For
medium
me, that
body
was
language
like,
signals.
yeah, so I was gonna say that like I was noticing the medium a lot if I'm leaving the room because even if he doesn't follow me, his head will still perk up and his ears get like, he does his little like this.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and he is like watching very intently where I'm going. And then sometimes he follows, sometimes he doesn't. But usually when it comes to me like actually leaving the room, then it definitely goes beyond easy. Like he's not
Okay.
like laying down. Or
If
like
that's
he's
the
laying down
case,
but his head is up.
right, like it's not like here, it's like, what are you doing? Okay. And that's a perfect definition of medium. I think if you see medium, don't advance. Don't
Okay.
advance down to the next task. Keep doing that same task. And if you're still
Really
stuck
get
at medium, that means that maybe we should go back to the previous one and
okay.
do a smaller way of getting from this one to this one. So
Okay.
let's say the previous task was like you take one step to the right, and then now you were taking two steps.
Yeah.
And then he's at medium and we can't seem to get past him. Let's go back to one step. And if it was too big of a jump to go from one step to two steps, maybe we have to go with one step to the side to pick up your leg,
Yeah.
then pick up your leg and move slightly, then pick up your leg and move a little more, then pick up your leg and take one step. You
No,
know what I mean?
totally.
Of like breaking it up smaller. I think that might help
And
with doing it at his pace.
no, totally. And I even don't know if we'd have to because like I said, like I haven't been as rigid as I probably should be with like the step by step. So like I think if like I'm noticing the medium if I'm leaving the room, then it's like, okay, well let's back up then and like do the step by step
Yeah,
because
sure.
that's what they're there for instead of just like, oh, is he perking up when I leave? Is he not perking up when I leave? Like
Okay.
there's
How
like
is he
two stages
doing
before that.
when you give him food afterwards? How is he doing? Does he like get up or is he still chill?
He doesn't get up. He is confused. He's like
Okay.
he'll like at least like the first few times he'll perk up his head and then not necessarily his ears, just like pick up his head and be like, what is going on? And then he'll eat it and then put his head back down. But he's
Okay.
not like watching me for what I do. He's just like, oh, okay. Um, and then for like the next few times after that, I'm gonna say the next like two times after that, he'll the time between him seeing what's happening and eating is like much, much shorter. He'll just like,
Okay.
yeah, he'll just like take it instead of having more confusion for
Okay.
like a longer time.
Okay. As long as it's not getting him like excited to the point where he's like getting up and following you. So
No.
great. I think continue doing what you're
If
doing
I like
then
started
for that.
dancing in front of him, then yes. But like I
Right.
think just like yeah, the
And
early phase of
eventually,
putting it down in front of him, he's okay with that.
okay. You will go, as you proceed with them, you will go through more and more distracting types of movements like spinning
Yeah.
around and that sort of stuff. So, okay, for now, continue doing what you're doing, continue using food. When we probably next session when we get together, we'll see how far you guys have gotten through it. And if we get to a point where we feel like we've advanced enough and he's getting the hang of it, at some point we're probably gonna consider do we still need the food or
Yeah.
not, like to go on. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes once we get to that point. But yeah, continue then doing that for now as you have been a few minutes a week like as you have time, 3 to 5 times a week. Has that been manageable just as far as frequency for you?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
definitely. If I remember at first being like, I should just do it during my lunch break, but then lunch break rolls around and I'm like, okay, I should take him on a walk, and then like, oh, I should go
Yeah,
eat something, and then it just completely. I'm like, the point is that I do it when we're in the office, so I'm like,
right.
I think if I like really intentionally like carve out some time while we're both in here and plan to be in here, then I think it'll be a lot easier to do it like regularly in the
Okay.
week. Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to make sure that Fernando gets time to also do something similar. If you think
Okay.
that's helpful, if you think it's better for us to just like stick with me doing it while I'm in the office with him. Um, because the thing is, Fair doesn't use the office a lot, but I don't know if he should probably also get, I don't know. This is your
Yeah, I think for
expectation.
now, let's do one location at a time. So that's my
Yeah,
first answer to that.
definitely.
So let's still use the office. We could eventually, we'll take this to other locations, but for now, let's
Yeah.
just stick with the office. Do we want Fernando to do it? That's up to you. Like,
Okay.
I don't care which one of you does it. And if he
Don't
hasn't
like
done it,
disturb the process, right?
no, no.
Okay.
As so long as you guys are communicating on where you've left off, that
Yeah.
way he's not starting at the beginning or something crazy.
Okay.
So if he hasn't been doing it especially, it might help him out if you were to record one of your sessions for him to be like, this is how we do it. Or if you have a day on the weekend that
Even
you guys are
today,
both
like when he
there,
comes back from work, I can be like, okay, look, this is like
this is
how,
what you do. Yeah,
yeah,
perfect. And if he has any questions, he can always certainly he can look at the document. He can always refer back to, I think, the session last time where we talked about it. He can listen to the recording also, or you guys can email me too, like at any point
yeah.
to be like, hey, talk me through this.
I also
Uh,
like he's super gung ho about this, but I also want him to feel like I don't want him to think like, oh God, I'm like he's just not gonna listen to me because I'm not doing anything.
sure,
Like,
sure.
no, just
Yeah,
like equally involved. It's fine. Like
yeah,
you can always look at the recordings and like I can always help out with like what
yep,
we've been practicing. Just because like you're not working from this specific office doesn't mean like you can't like do a lot of the stuff that we're working on.
absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you guys want to switch back and forth, totally fine. Totally
Cool.
fine. I think that's great.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
so I think that gives you enough to work on for the next couple of weeks. You said you're seeing Dr. Koontz on the 17th, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay,
It's
so
definitely next week.
okay,
Yeah,
let's try to get together then. Today is the 8th. Let's do our next session for 2 weeks from now. That way that gives you enough time to check in with her and have some info and see where things go. Does that sound good?
that's perfect.
Okay, how is Friday the 22nd for you?
Actually, that's like the one day I won't be able to because I'm
Okay,
out of town. But
okay.
is the more are you working Thursday?
I am, but I don't have any openings
Oh,
Thursday.
I was gonna
That
say
day's booked.
Thursday we could do something. Um, I mean, I could if you want either earlier that week or anytime the following week, I can also do whatever.
Yeah, we can bump it the week after to that Thursday or Friday. I've got several openings those days.
Yeah, we can do Friday this time.
Okay.
Um, the
The
following.
29th.
Yes.
Okay, Friday the 29th. Does this time work good for you? Like 10:30 in the morning?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
perfect. Okay, good. Because I was like, otherwise I'm going to be in Austin and that will be a little difficult.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll throw the 29th and 10 or 10:30. I have both. What do you prefer?
Let's do 10:30.
The 29th. Go schedule. Okay, you'll get a confirmation for that. Should anything change, again, we can always move that date.
Okay.
Yeah, but that'll give you plenty of time to touch base with the doctor to go
Practice
through
some of this
more
stuff.
of the stuff we talk about today. So great.
Hopefully it gets warmer.
We'll see how that goes. No one likes it. My dogs hate it. I'm not a
You
big
know,
fan, but
that's why we live here.
exactly. Like we made our life choices. All right. Well, it was good touching base and catching up with you. I'll send you your training worksheet before the end of the day. Let me know if you have any questions in the weeks that follow. I'll be excited to hear what comes next.
Thanks, Veronica.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Have a good weekend. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.